Out there, where the waves crash and the wind bites, exists a nation built on defiance. Forget palace gardens and rolling hills. This place? It's a speck of rust and concrete, rising from the unforgiving North Sea. Welcome to the Principality of Sealand. And its story is unlike any nation-building fairy tale you've ever heard. World War II was a conflict of brutal innovation. As Nazi bombers pounded Britain, the coastline bristled with a strange defense. Stark, metal sea forts towering from the waves. Their purpose? To blast enemy aircraft from the sky. Ruff's Tower, Sealand's future home, was one such fortress. A utilitarian monster clinging to the edge of the known world. The war ends. These titans of defense fall silent. Most are abandoned, left as grim reminders of conflict. But one man, Paddy Roy Bates, a British Army major turned restless entrepreneur, sees not relics, but possibility. It's the 1960s. Rock and roll courses through the streets, a generation demands something fresh. But staid British radio is dominated by the BBC. Bland, stuffy, government-controlled. Here's the loophole. Those old sea forts sit beyond UK territorial waters, outside any earthly broadcasting laws. Sealand is a blank canvas, ready for sonic rebellion. 1967, Christmas Eve. Bates and crew storm Ruff's Tower, evicting a rival pirate broadcaster. This isn't a squabble, it's a hostile takeover. They hoist a new flag, declare it theirs, and boom! Radio Essex is born, broadcasting uncensored rock to eager British shores. This audacity throws down the gauntlet. This wasn't harmless fun. Britain seethes, seeing Sealand as a direct challenge to their authority. They retaliate, sending the Royal Navy to evict this band of audacious pirates. Warning shots are fired. Bates fires back, waving a shotgun against warships. But then comes the curveball. Bates is hauled into court, facing weapons charges. What could be an open and shut case becomes a watershed moment. The judge rules the court lacks jurisdiction. As Sealand sits in international waters, it's like Bates committed his crime on Mars. It's a technicality, but a huge one. Britain backs down and inadvertently legitimizes Sealand as an entity not fully under their control. Most people would be satisfied. Bates, he doubles down. September the 2nd, 1967. He declares full independence of the Principality of Sealand. This micronation needs a constitution, a flag, passports. Bates designs the lot. His wife, Joan, becomes Princess Joan. It sounds fantastical, even insane, but the seeds of nationhood are sown. Sovereignty comes at a price. Sealand isn't a cute tourist spot. It's an unyielding statement against any government who fancies interfering. While Bates clashes with British courts, danger brewing close to home. A German businessman approaches, calling himself Prime Minister. But as it turns out, he's playing a long game. 1978. Armed men swarm Sealand while Bates is away. They kidnap his son, Michael. It's an international incident, straight from a thriller. In a daring move, Michael counterattacks, retakes Sealand, and holds the invaders captive. Gunfights on the platform, hostage drama. This is how you defend your micronation's borders. Ultimately, Germany sends a diplomat to negotiate their release, a moment where a superpower implicitly treats Sealand as a quasi-legitimate entity. Over the decades, Sealand weathered legal challenges, physical storms, and a devastating fire. Critics call it a ramshackle tax dodge, propped up by the quirky sale of noble titles. Some nations play along, engaging in limited diplomacy as a novelty. To grasp Sealand, we need to question our ideas of countryhood. It fulfills several definitions of a state. Territory, populace, small, but still, permanent government. Yet full UN recognition has not materialized. Sealand isn't just about legalities, but about ideas. In a world of stringent borders, it proves nation-building can be attempted by ordinary people. If you possess guts, legal cunning, and the stomach for harsh winters on rusty towers. It embodies that defiant DIY spirit that fuels fringe movements for good or ill. Does recognition from world superpowers truly matter? Maybe, for trade and treaties. But Sealand reminds us that nations exist because we grant them authority. If enough people play along, believe in an ideal, that idea might gain real power. Roy Bates passed away in 2012, leaving his legacy to his son, Prince Michael. Sealand persists, an improbable speck on the map. Some hail it as an inspiration for libertarian seasteading. Others mock it as a failed dream rusting into oblivion. What is clear is that the tale remains unfinished. New chapters may be written with rising sea levels, battles over ocean resources, or by tech libertarians with enough cash to finally buy their own tiny kingdom. Who knows? Maybe a new generation will hoist the Sealand flag as a sign of defiance once again, against threats we can't yet imagine. Was Sealand a grand folly, a genius scam, or did it spark something lasting? I'm leaving you with those questions because there's no single easy answer. If oddities like this intrigue you, subscribe. We're diving into history's hidden territories, and trust me, it gets even weirder from here.